nice little beat. I like it. I like it. What's up, everybody? Well, I don't have one that says what the fuck Wednesday, so it's have to use one that says what the fuck Tuesday and just pretend like you see Wednesday up there. But welcome to the show. I was still coughing too much yesterday. You see my voice is still kind of raggedy, but at least I think I can get through without maybe coughing a couple of times today. So I think waiting that extra day was a good idea. Before we get on to our show for tonight. Some of the stuff that's from the other show. Looks like we're back down to 25 questions because I complained. 25 advice questions. Your coffee's ready? Well, guess what I got me? Pinot. You know, that's the only red wine I like to drink. It is, say Onyx. Onyx got them slogans working. Well, we got 25 questions, and this feels kind of thick, so that means that some of the questions might be a little long. What's up, Shay? I hope everybody had a great Christmas. And for those of you who I missed the other day, Monday, we had a good show. If you missed that video, check it out. It was really interesting. We had a good discussion. Coke Zero? Girl, okay, wait a minute. That's like having sugar-free candy. I don't understand what that's all about. Fat-free cake and cookies. I mean, the butter is the whole point. It's like, to me, cookies and stuff like that are just butter-flavored. It's a butter delivery system. So it's like, what in the world? I'm like, that's just an oxymoron, okay? Like decaffeinated coffee. Why do people even try to think up those things? Just stop it. Okay, anyway, let's go on. Let us okay, let's just be real. If I'm someplace and they only have that and I don't want white wine, I'm just gonna drink it. But when you're talking about what I'm gonna go buy and what if somebody gives me for a prize, a gift I would be the happiest about, it's gonna be some Pinot. So I do. Oh, I sure do, huh? That's what I get for buying these cheap lipsticks off of the internet. Thank you for telling me, because I would have been up here all smiling with that big red blab on my tooth. I did. I gotta do it again. Well, whatever. Y'all just don't have to deal with it. Okay, let's move on and do something important with these teeth. Okay, this is a young lady in the 22 to 27. This is question number 1 of 25 for those of you who like to keep up. Married to my husband for 6 months. I think I need to divorce his. She's from El Paso, Texas. She says, I'm 27, my husband is 26. I love him, but I am just so tired. This man cannot keep a job. He butts heads with every boss he has. He has been in his current job for 4 months and he got his evaluation back and he got mostly, quote, significantly below expectation. That means he's not going to make probation. That's what that means. We have been together since 2019, the year he got out of college, and he has had 6 jobs in that time span. I cannot keep doing this. I'm pretty sure he's on the spectrum and he has a really hard time interacting with people. He doesn't think he should work hard at something if he's not passionate about it. We've got other issues too. He is very time and schedule oriented. He got super upset this past weekend because I wanted us to stay at a friend's house for 10 extra minutes. I think he's mentally unwell. He also has ED. That is way better. Though that is way better, it's still unmanaged. I accidentally dropped a bowl of his food and he had a complete breakdown a couple of weeks ago. He took another big bowl of food and slammed it on the ground and screamed at me. I told him he needs to get in to see a mental health professional. It's free through our health insurance, and that I'm leaving if he doesn't. Wow. Shit, I would have been telling him that from a telegram because I would have been gone. I don't know what to do. I do love him, and I don't want to leave him when he is this unstable mentally. We have a couple of dogs that I will not leave behind. I cannot afford our house by myself. My parents are great and would help me. I'm scared to tell them how bad it is. Well, you better tell somebody. besides me. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm listening and everything, but you say you don't want to leave when he's this unstable. That's when you do leave. That's when you leave, because he needs to understand that you need to get stable. As long as you're there, still taking care of him, still loving him, he's not suffering any repercussions or losses. Even if he goes batshit crazy and acts a complete fool, everything stays the same. So you, by staying there, are somewhat reinforcing this behavior. You see what I mean? You have to make a drastic change. That means you pack your stuff and then you go to your parents. Now you have some dogs, I mean, I know people love their dogs and stuff, but right now we're talking about possibly saving your life. He's starting to throw stuff and act all stupid. That's violence. And usually it gets worse. It does not get better. So he's throwing stuff now. The next thing he's gonna be hitting stuff, and then the final port, he's gonna start hitting you. So you need to get out. Now, what you're gonna do with your dogs, I don't know. You could rehome them, you could put them somewhere temporarily. You could, I don't know, take them to the woods and let them be free with like Lassie or somebody. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you need to get out of this house, out of this situation, and not worry about dogs right now. You worry about your life right now, your safety. Okay, that's much more important. I cannot afford our house by myself. You're gonna sell the house because you're gonna leave him. You're gonna get a divorce, and then you guys are gonna sell the house. Now, I don't know where El Paso. I don't know what the property values are like that, like how fast the property market is, and if you show any kind of appreciation in that quick little short time when y'all bought the house. Was it way before you got married? Did you live together? There's a lot of information I don't have, but I wouldn't worry about a house, nor would I worry about some dogs. It's time for you to worry about yourself. When women start focusing on external things like this outside of themselves, what that is a way to make them not leave. You don't really want to go, so you coming up with excuses why you get to stay. That's what this is. So somebody who really wanted to go wouldn't give a damn about all of this stuff. They would just be boop out. So, but you're like, oh, but this and but that, and and I don't want to tell people. And so you having all these reasons in your mind to justify staying with this fool. You do you grown. You're gonna do what you want to do. Yeah, he has ED. He on the spectrum. He can't keep a job. He fights with his bosses. He's gonna be about to lose this job that he has had for 4 months. He throws food at her. I mean, dude is just like a whack job. I don't understand what she's doing. And she says, I love him. Why? Why would you love somebody who acts like this? And the main thing is, when I'm thinking back on this, didn't you know some of this beforehand? I usually don't like to do this, but you said married. And 6 months, you've been married for 6 months. Okay, not new boyfriend, not dating, just moved in together. Something that could give people some room and some leverage to be like, well, she didn't really know yet, but not married. Okay, so what are you saying happened? What did you ignore of his behavior because you were just so focused on getting married? We've been together since 2019. This is the end of 2022. So surely he had to have shown some of these behaviors way before now. I don't know what you're doing, why you ignored what you saw, but let this be a valuable lesson to you not to ever do this again. Okay. I don't know, because I'd be like, you don't have no job. I mean, you don't have no money. You're not a trust fund, baby. I'm not supporting you. I mean, you can see sometimes, companies down, especially with all this virus stuff hit. People lost their jobs. They hadn't done anything wrong. The companies just, because people couldn't come out in the streets, they weren't making any money. So they couldn't continue to keep, the business open. So they closed the business. All the people lost their jobs just by default. So in some situations, people just can't help that they had lost their job. But not this one. He just making it a habit. Every job he gets, he loses because he don't know how to act. So it's a completely different thing. But, so in some situations, you might choose to stay with the guy and, because you're married and that's what you're going to do. But if you have someone who acts a fool like this, so every time that he's losing a job is on fault. And then plus he got ED too. Girl, what was you doing? You don't marry somebody that has ED. That's somebody that you put back. And nobody want to be bothered with that, especially at your age. And I'm way older than you, and I still don't want to be bothered with it. But in my 20s, there is no way in this world that I would have put up with that. Question number 2. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. Summary of issue: how am I supposed to interpret women's behavior? You asking me? Do I know the answer to that? I be scratching my head every week up in here. Okay, well, let's see what she's doing. So there's this girl at work that I liked at one point, but I never really bothered to ask her out since she didn't seem interested in me at all. She never talked to me. She always avoided eye contact, and it was pretty much like I didn't exist. She just came off as really distant, and I figured that there was no point in asking her out because she obviously wasn't interested. Okay, you already said that. But today I found out from a mutual friend that this girl does like me and that she's just always shy and introverted in general. That makes sense since I noticed that she never really engaged with anyone but a small handful of close friends, and that she would always spend her breaks alone in her car. But now the issue is that this girl no longer works here, and I don't know how to find her. Conversely, there was one girl who I did ask out only to get rejected. She was always very outgoing towards me, constantly saying hi to me, laughing at my dumb jokes, and always telling me that I'm funny. I thought for sure that she was interested, but it turns out that she has a boyfriend and that she's apparently just really friendly and outgoing to everyone. I don't really understand how I'm supposed to get a read on women. I've always been taught that the ones who like you act so friendly toward you, and the ones who don't will make it completely obvious in their lack of interest. But I just experienced the ones being reversed, and now I don't know how to understand women and how they act towards guys they're into. How do I read girls' behavior? Oh, this is interesting. So y'all put your comments in there. Like if you're interested in a dude, how do you behave versus if you're not? Well, I'm gonna tell you this, the girl, even though she was being friendly and stuff, see, a lot of guys misinterpret friendliness from especially on the job as someone being interested in you like romantically. Most women don't want to date anybody on their job. Okay, let's just start there. Some companies have really, written policies against it, but it creates a very bad situation if you dating on the job and here's somebody always in your face wanting to, PDAs and all this whole stuff here. Or when y'all fight, it's drama at the job. Y'all break up, it's drama at the job. So most women do not want to date somebody that they work with. Most. So you could have just got shut down, you know, in general for that reason. Because you just seem to have this thing about trying to date women that you work with. Can't you find some woman somewhere else? Just like you say, well, now I don't even know where she is. Is she the only woman on the planet? Why are you so focused on her? And just because someone told you that she likes you doesn't mean it's true, right? Not only that, if you're looking at somebody who's got that kind of personality where they're very shy, they claim to be shy, that just means that she's a coward. But she claimed to be shy and she don't want to talk to nobody. She self-isolates and all this kind of stuff. Do you think that a person with that kind of personality would really give you a warm and loving relationship? You would constantly be either fighting her for time and attention because she want to run away from you, or you would feel like, you're begging her and you wouldn't feel really good because you feel like you're hounding her. And then you wouldn't want to do that. So then you'd be miserable and she would be miserable as well. So you haven't really missed anything by, not pursuing that. But how are you supposed to get a read on women? If a woman is talking to you, she's giving you eye contact. She allows you, through time to be a little inside of her personal boundary of space. That means she's a little comfortable with you. Does that mean she wants to, jump your bones? No. Does it mean she might be receptive to going out with you? Maybe for a little lunch or something like that, a drink, But I caution you about trying to get with people at your job. Come on now, dude. Find women somewhere else. Separate money and honey, okay? Money and honey don't go together. They don't go together. They should always be separate. I never want to date nobody at my job. I had some friends. I made some, good friends from work, male and female. But did I ever want to get busy with any of them dudes? Nope, because my daddy's voice was ringing in my head. Never get your honey where you makes your money. That's how he said it. Yeah. Yes, it's fun. It's fun to hang out, but date seriously and like get busy. No, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. And if I'm hanging out, it's going to be with a couple of folks. It's not going to just be like I'm concentrating on my energy on one person, especially someone of the opposite sex. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to myself because you never know who's looking at you for promotional opportunities. And they say you see you dipping in the company pond like that, they're going to not let it happen because you too potentially messy. I'm telling you, it's a bad thing. If you can't get no D nowhere else but your job, ladies, for real, come on now. If that's the case, you in sad shape. I don't know what to tell you. Let's move on. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Northern Washington State. That's so non-specific. Summary of issue. My in-laws are pressuring us to fly across the country with our 1-year-old baby. That's not good. Babies hate flying. There's an air pressure thing. They always start screaming. My in-laws have pressured us about visiting them on the East Coast since our baby has been born. She's now 1. They said they will pay for us to fly there, so there's no excuse. The problem is I don't feel comfortable flying with a 1-year-old across the country. For Christmas, they sent her a suitcase with a note that said their wish gift for us this Christmas is to come visit them on the East Coast. They just don't let up. They were pissed when my husband told them it would probably be a few years. I was pissed they won't let it go or understand our standpoint. It's 2 hours to the airport for us and about the same for them. Plus, there's no direct flight, so it would be approximately a 12-hour travel day at best, assuming flights aren't delayed and we have a quick layover. Oh, no, that is way too much. Right now, our baby has trouble driving in a car for more than an hour. It turns into a disaster, and that's the furthest she has been able to travel. She still even has trouble sleeping in her crib, so we are dealing with long nights and sleep issues. They don't have anything we would need at their place, such as a crib, a rocker, gated off area, baby proofing, and all the other stuff. They just don't seem to get it. My child needs to be rocked and needs silence to nap, so a plane wouldn't work for that. Plus, I think she would be scared out of her mind. How do I get them to let up about this? I am so tired of being a bad guy from having to say no along with my husband, when this has never been my idea to begin with. Did I mention that we are not good flyers? I get anxiety on planes. I've only flown to the East Coast once in my entire life. What should I say to these pushy people? Okay, see, I was going to really try hard not to use profane language during this broadcast. I was going to try. I think I'm going to give up because this would be a situation where somebody who is on the phone from the East Coast would have to get cussed out. And I will start with, okay, do you understand English? I mean, I hope they understand English. You didn't say what their ethnicity was or their mother tongue and all that. But let's just assume that they speak English, okay? Like, do you speak English? Okay, so what part of no do you not understand? Explain it to me. What part of no is something that's beyond the concept that you understand it? Because where we're headed right now is a path where I'm going to block your number and we're not going to talk to you at all. That's what's going to happen. Because I'm tired of saying the same, repeating myself, and you acting like you don't understand clear English. And we already told you it's not going to happen. Okay, the baby's not getting on the plane. We ain't getting on the plane. Nobody's driving 2 hours to an airport. It's not going to happen. We're not spending 12 hours on a trip to see. It's not going to happen. Just forget it. It's not going to happen. If you want to see your grandchild, you need to fly out here and get you a hotel room because you can't stay with us. And then we'll bring her around and we can do some stuff together. But we're not coming there with this baby and all the stuff that she needs. It's not going to happen. So you got one more time. You ask me about that one more time, and then I'm going to block you, and we're going to go completely no contact. You will have no calls, no video chats, no texts, no emails, no phone calls, no messages on social media, nothing. You're going to be completely in the dark about what's going on in this household. Is that what you want? Is that what you're pushing for? And see what they say. Because I'm giving you the clean version because I would lose my mind. I would have already lost it. And she would have become every kind of B, MF, all of them things that I could have thought of, because I hate repeating myself. I don't even repeat myself to children or dogs. I'm going to tell you one time. With men, the same thing. I tell you one, I already told you that. So why do I need to repeat myself? And she would have got that same thing by the time she asked me the second time. That's the message that she would have got. Because we're not going to go through this. I'm not going to be bothered with you asking me this every couple of days or every week or whatever. So you think about it, because you guys sound way too nice. And this is just way too much drama to go through to look at some people that you don't want to, obviously don't care about seeing anyway. Neither does your son. So she just set her up on some Zoom chats or something and hold the baby up there like they did in Lion King. Ah! And then, hold her up to the camera and let them be happy with that. Yeah, they're selfish. They're not thinking about what's going to, the impact on the three of them, their son and his wife and the baby. They don't care about that. They just want what they want. Girl, I'm telling you. Hold that baby up to the camera and just say, you better make it work. Question number 4. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Question number 4. Female, 22 to 27. She's Pensacola, Florida. Summary of issue. How do I stop ending up with horrible men? He was so nice at first, and I feel tricked. It's been 2 years. He probably was tricked. Ash, you probably was tricked, because they like to do that. Lay a little plot, right? The breadcrumbs, and then you look a little innocent little birdie just following along, peck, 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 until you find yourself in some shit. So here we go. At this time, I really thought I had it figured out. Okay, this looks long. He was so nice to me for months. The nicest guy I had ever been with. He's 30, I'm 27 now. There were some conflicts about 7 months to a year in. Okay, 7 months to a year in. But there were so many reasons to stay together, and conflict is normal, right? He was still nice, though. The second year got worse and worse, and now about 2 years and 2 months in, things are horrible. He loses his temper at things that could have been small if he just kept it together. He says mean things and then blames me for our flights when it's obviously a two-way street. Our fights, I'm sorry. One time he broke my wine opener by accident and then got mad when I tried to disagree that it was broken and say that maybe we can still use it because it looks like all the important parts are working. He got totally pissed and started yelling at me on Christmas Eve in front of his whole family. He had taken it personally, like I was saying, he doesn't know how to identify something broken or something. I was just being optimistic and saying maybe it still works. It's brand new and I only used it once, so I was kind of unhappy about it. I tried telling him that, and he said, no, you were claiming I was wrong, even though that seemed melodramatic. Okay, so my question is, if he was nice first and now he's awful, how was I supposed to pick up on red flags like they say to do? I feel like I'm doomed to end with angry men. I'm bi, so maybe I should just switch to women, but women aren't perfect either, so it doesn't seem like a valid solution. Oh, that's it. Well, the key to here is this. You said you started, everything was fine until 7 months in. You notice things shifting at the 7th month mark. You know what you're supposed to do? Boop, deuce out. That's what you're supposed to do. But you stayed. You dealt with the drama. You dealt with the BS. You dealt with whatever was going on, the fighting and whatever. You stayed. So when he's looking at that, he's like, okay, I got her now. The hook is set. Have you ever gone fishing? It's like you can catch a fish on the lip, right? You barely got it. It jumps off that hook and be on about his business. Lip heals right up, and it's like it never happened. Okay. That's where you were at 7 months, but you stayed. So the hook he knew the hook was set then, and then he started reeling you in. And he just treats you worse and worse, and you stayed and stayed. And then he treated you worse and worse, and then he's like act a fool and humiliate you in front of his family. And you stayed and stayed. You see what I'm talking about? So this is nothing about a man being awful and you not being able to read red flags. You saw the red flag, but you ignored it. So you try to play this pity party like, oh my God, they're just so awful and they lied to me and I feel tricked. Nobody tricked you. You tricked yourself. You saw that he was a knucklehead at 7 months in, if not before, because you sound like the kind that would see something and just like blow it off. And then, but you stayed. That was a mistake that you made. So, the whole point is you're never going to find a man that doesn't have at least a pink flag. He going to have something, orange, something going to be going on. So you just have to figure out if on the list of things that you as a woman need, because everybody's needs are different, on the stuff that you need, is this flag, this one little thing, enough for you to end the relationship, or is it something that can be easily adjusted? When you start having a series of conflicts, that to me denotes the incompatibility. Like the honeymoon period passed, and 6 months is usually that's as long as they can hold their front. After that, which is right on time, it's the 7 months, is when things start to fall apart. If a man can make it to like 2 years and he's still pretty consistent, chances are he's okay. But 99% of them can't do that. But 7, 8, 9 months, the wall cracks and the real them jumps out, and that's when you know the fool that you dating. So that's all I'm going to tell you is you notice red flags, but then you ignore them. So you could have easily gotten out of the situation. So it's not like you're doomed to have men like this. You just need to figure out how to, to make yourself feel okay about leaving them behind. When he started yelling at me about break, first of all, he would have had to reimburse me, buy me a new wine opener. Not number one. I would have held my hand out just like this. I just bought that, so you're going to give me this money to buy a new one. I still had a receipt. That's how new it is. First time I used it, you're going to give me my money back. And if he said anything about it, I would have waited till he went to sleep and took it out of his wallet. Yeah. That's how I do things. I ordered it online and used his credit card. Or whatever. I'm not going to commit fraud, but you are going to replace my stuff that you broke. That's just, I'm not going to suffer losses because of something that you did. And they're going to try to make, yell at me about it. Like, where they do that at? Oh, my God. A 90 countdown? Oh, I like that. Yeah, I have a timer on mine, too. Be giving people 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Okay, question number 5. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from San Diego, California. Summary of issue. My boyfriend seems to dislike my lovely cat more and more. My boyfriend is 31 and I'm 29, and we've been together for about a year. I've had my cat for about 5 years. He's the coolest, sweetest, most loving cat who loves people and loves to cuddle. I recently began splitting time between my place and his and bringing my cat, and he seems to get more and more annoyed by him. He has a dog. My cat and his dog get along well. That I'm allergic to, but I love him and can take him for walks and give him love when I can. The way he talks to his dog, I can tell he's just not an animal person at the end of the day, and I am very much so an animal person. It hurts my feelings when he constantly accuses my cat of destroying his things and being an a-hole when he hasn't done anything to make him say that. Today I'm asking what happened in the other room because the rug was caught under some storage boxes. I asked him that, assuming he was in a rush and pushed the boxes to get something. He immediately said my cat must have done it, when it's obvious from the picture it will be too heavy for my cat. Then he started being sarcastic with me and saying that I always defend my cat when I don't. Well, so what if you do? It's like having your kid. You're going to defend your kid. I'm constantly correcting my cat's behavior when he does things like knocking things over. He's never lived with a cat before, so I assume he doesn't understand. He doesn't let him sleep in the room anymore, which I'm okay with, but he says he doesn't want his dirty paws sleeping on him and touching him. It's really starting to irritate me, and I'm not sure what to do. Is there any way I can go about starting to feel less annoyed by my cat? Girl, get out of this trash relationship. What's wrong with you? This guy don't like your cat. That means he don't like you. You're allergic to his dog, so what the fuck? What are you doing? I don't date men who have dogs. Simply not because he might be a lowly person, but I'm not going to put my health at risk because you have a dog and you love your dog. You can continue to love your dog, and I'm gonna love breathing. Okay, so we're not gonna do this. It was nice to meet you. Bye. Same thing with people who have cats. I can't do it. I'll stop at their house briefly after I've taken my allergy medicine and stuff. But in general, I can't do furry things. The dander just kills me. I can't breathe. And You know, he's putting all these things, he's yelling at your cat and stuff. That's like abuse of animals. You think your cat feels good hearing that? The dog feels good hearing that? This man is trash. His D can't be that good that you want to be putting up with this crap. You girls kill me with the stuff that you take, you tolerate. These are living creatures. Okay, your cat is dependent on you. You two have been like together for 5 years. You guys are buddies. You're like his mommy. And you just let him get yelled at and talked about and pushed into corners and pinned in places with boxes and all this kind of stuff because you're so desperate to be up under this fool. You need to sleep. You need your butt kicked. If you don't break this mess off, tell him it's not working out. You're too allergic to his dog or something. Make up some excuse. But find you a man who's going to respect you and the things that you love, especially live animals, living things. Not someone like this. This guy, he's trash. I don't understand what you're doing. She's a little tink tink my butt. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. Notice that most of the letters are in this age group where people are so confused. They don't know what they do and don't know they ass from which is ass in from up. Yeah, it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. She's from Woodbridge, New Jersey. Summary of issue. My boyfriend is 25 and he has a female best friend who's 39 who said she loves him in front of me. She's still living? Wow. To start, I'm not normally an insecure person, so I've never dealt with anything like this. I'm 24. I've been with my boyfriend for 8 months now. We have a happy relationship. He's close with someone who's like a mentor at his job, but he refers to her as one of his best friends. She is 14 years older than him, so at first I didn't give it much thought, especially since they don't hang out outside of work. But over time, I noticed that he talks about her a lot, enough that it was making me wonder if there were any feelings there. I told myself I would wait until I met her to make an assumption. Well, that happened this Friday. At work, he's working at a party, and I finally got to meet her. At first, she was really sweet and kind to me, and I remember thinking to myself that there isn't anything going on between them and how nice she's being. She was encouraging me to play games with her, and I didn't feel like they were giving each other the eye, if you know what I mean. Everything was fine until later on. Everyone had a little to drink, and 4 of us were talking. My boyfriend said something funny in his drunken slur, and she laughed and said, "Oh, I love you, Andrew," and then she hugged him. Later on, when we were heading out, she said she loved him again. This time there were about 15 other people around, so I would assume she normally says that in front of her other coworkers. Girl, you just young and dumb. Now they have known each other for 7 years, and she seems close with other employees there. I just don't know what to think. She made comments about how she wanted to hire me and told him to keep her around. But when we were leaving, she said, "If you ever need anything, please let me know. Your boyfriend has my phone number. You can ask him for it." At first, I thought that was sweet, but now I wonder if she was just trying to state that he has her number. See how much I'm overthinking? I really don't feel like there were any feelings between them, but I also don't know if I would say I loved one of my guy friends in front of one of their girlfriends. No, that was totally inappropriate. I think, in the context of the way that she was saying it, it could just be like, "Oh my God, you're so stupid, but I just love you." Not really like romantic, deep, undying love like that. Just like, you dumb, but I still love you anyway. Just kind of an offhand thing like that. I'm hoping that's what she meant. But the bottom line is, you didn't like it. It made you feel uncomfortable. And he was drunk. So he probably don't even have to remember what happened. All in all, to me, it sounds like a little bit of a boundary violation kind of situation. Not so much with her, but more with your boyfriend. Because I'd be like, dude, why are you talking about some other bitch to me all the time? I don't want to hear about that. Keep that at your job. Don't have nothing to do with me or nothing to do with our relationship. And so I don't want to hear about it. What woman do you think want to hear you talk about some other woman to her all the time? You want me to start talking about men in my life? Is that what you want? Because I could do that. See, when he's young, he's only 25, right? So he might not know yet, because young dudes are stupid, If no older dudes have schooled him on how you talk, how you treat women, and it's what you don't say around women, then he would be dumb and not know that this kind of stuff that he's doing is taboo. You don't bring up some other woman, always talking about some other woman to your woman. Ladies, you don't always go around your man talking about some other man to your dude. You talk to your dude about him, maybe his kids, his parents, his friend or something, a little bit something. But you gotta be careful with that, because then he's gonna be looking like you, like, well, why you keep talking about Rollo so much? You see what I mean? You need to keep other men's names out of your mouth. Dude needs to keep other women's name out of his mouth. He can talk to her at work, but once he leaves work, all of that work relationship needs to leave there and stay gone, stay separate. And you should have told him that. You did not do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wait a minute. Let me see who said that, because it's halfway cut off. Anna, that's a good idea. Yeah, she hugged him and said, I don't know, because I'm like, I don't like nobody touching my man. And it's so funny, reading this, it reminded me of a situation I had when I was down in Texas. This guy I was dating, right? He was a model. Fine. It's ridiculous, just insane. And so he was, we went to this party that his job put on. And there's this older white woman there, and I could just tell by the way she was, the hood energy. You just gonna know. So I'm looking at this cow, and I'm like, she just was grinning a little bit too hard. And she had to be, we was, like early 20s, and she had to already be in her late 30s or something. She was like, compared to us, she was old. And so I'm looking at her, and so then she just all up in his face and everything. And I'm like, and she was giving me the, this kind of thing here. And me, I'm giving it right back. And so then she was talking to him, and I told him when she walked away, I said, she likes you. And he's like, what? He was all denying and stuff. I said, but let me tell you how this is going to go. If there's any drama with this woman, I'm going to kick her ass, and then I'm going to kick yours. So you better watch what you do and watch what you say. Do not embarrass me up in here, and don't you do or say nothing that's going to give her any idea that you okay with the shit that she's doing today. You better check her. Don't make me do it. And you should have seen his face, because, your friend over here when I was young was crazy. You think I'm bad now? I was insane. I would have beat that bitch and bam-bammed her. Boop, boop. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him like this, and he's like, okay, maybe we should go. I said, that might be a good idea. I don't know, but he was scared after that. He was scared. He didn't talk about her anymore. If he talking about the people at his job, he would never say anything about her. I'm like, so what, you not going to talk about that bitch no more? You told me not to. I said, that's right. That was just a test. Trying to see what you was going to do. Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff, that kind of sneaky stuff. And a lot of these women, the older ones, they think because you're young that you're not like her, that you're insecure and that you don't know what's happening. Hood rat here, boop, I know everything. I know bitch shit when I see it, and been knowing it since I was 12. So you wasn't going to get nothing on me. And that's why I warned him. I was like the rattlesnake shake, like I said. It's like, do you want, I know you don't want me to check her. And you should have seen him, his eyes start darting around, because he was imagining what that would look like and how the people on his job would feel about me checking that bitch right in front of him. And he was like, oh, no, yeah, let's just go. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's just do that then. Why don't we? Yeah. And they always want to be using, well, I was drinking as an excuse. Let's move on to question number 7. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. Summary of issue. I want to break up with my girlfriend because of how she treats me. What should I do? My girlfriend and I have been together for 8 months. We're 19 and 20 respect. Oh my God, just break it off. She behaves with me like her ex behaved with her. She is cold and gets mad at me every time I do something, just like her ex used to do. And she doesn't want to be open to me, but to her ex, she was open with everything. It hurts me when she does this. It's like her ex was better than me, even though he cheated on her and treated her bad. I did none of these things, but still I'm the one being treated badly. I don't know what to do to make her treat me the same as I treat her. I just want one thing from her. I want her to show me the love and respect that I show to her. I just want to feel appreciated. I know that I'm not perfect, but I also had a rough childhood and I was wanted a girl that treats me the same as I treat her. That's the only thing I want. Ladies of the squad, I need advice. What should I do? You should leave her ass. Why is this even a doubt, a question? Just like I tell the women, if you're in a relationship and the person is not giving you the relationship that you need, you leave them alone. It doesn't only apply to women, it applies to men too. Any relationship where you have needs that are not being met by your partner, and this looks like it's not like it just happened. You've been dealing with this for months. So it's like she had plenty of chances to fix this issue, but she didn't do it. She has no interest in doing it. The person here, so when people write, right, you're the unhappy person. That means the onus is on you to make a change. You can't make the other person change to be who or what you want. You can't make them do what you want. You have to change your way of dealing with them. And your way of dealing with something like this, it should be to not tolerate it and to deuce out. Now I know you're saying, well, I love her and I want this, I want that. Has it happened yet? Has she shown you any signs of that ever going to happen? So you sitting there wanting something that's not going to happen. You know it's not going to happen, but you just haven't accepted it yet. So you write this letter. I don't know what you think I'm gonna tell you. We don't play them kind of games here. I'm gonna just tell you it's a fucked up situation. She's a fucked up broad, and you need to get yourself together and get out of this situation. Okay? She's never going to treat you the way that you want. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I need a t-shirt to say it ain't going to happen. This is unbelievable. Look at, remember what I was saying in the video the other day, like the low epidemic of low self-esteem? There is no way I would ever tolerate this for 1 second. You going to be like, oh, getting mad at me every time I do something. You go over there and be mad by your damn self. I don't feel like being bothered with you like that. And I'm not going to placate you and ask you what's wrong and all that stuff like people do. I don't give a fuck. Be mad. You be so mad you burst into flames. It's not going to change nothing over here because I'm going to leave you alone. Question number 8, male 18 to 21 from South Bend, Indiana. Summary of issue. My friend said something rude and I don't know what to think. My friend and I are both 18. I'm writing because she said something rude and I don't know what to think about it. So me and this girl have been friends for a while. Recently we started hanging out. Today we were hanging out and she talked about crushes and similar stuff. We both used to like each other, but we were both pretty shy, so we only figured out it was mutual not that long ago. I should also probably mention that she seems pretty down today, and I think something happened between her and her friends, but I'm not sure. So while we were talking, she said that I'm the last person she's liked for their personality and not looks. She also said that her friends had told her that I was ugly and we wouldn't be a good match. She said that to you? And that part of the reason nothing happened between us. Wow. I didn't really care what her friends think. She and they are kind of social outcasts and most of them don't even shower. And you didn't say that? The part that hurt a bit was that she kind of seems to agree. And then ended it by saying, I'm just average looking. I'm objectively not bad looking. I had quite a few people I consider attractive ask me out in the past. I'm no model, but I'm not ugly. I'm already quite insecure in general, and this made me feel even more insecure than I already do. It's like it's a rude thing to say. It's always fun hanging out with her, but I don't know if I want to continue being friends with her. What do you think I should do? You should have cussed her out. You should have said, bitch, I know you're not trying to have no kind of standards all when your friends smell like pig pen and we don't haven't bathed since 2021. You sitting up there trying to talk about somebody's ugly when you got funky friends. And look at that mug that you carrying up there. It's like you shit to go to the zoo, people to throw bananas at your ass. You need to stop trying to talk about somebody else and look in the mirror. Your misbuilt flat ass. I mean, whatever her figure is, that would be the time to read her and talk about her. You don't let somebody tell you stuff like this, especially to your face, and you don't respond in kind. You were supposed to light her up. And she's talking about that's why we never went out. I said, no, we didn't go out because I came to my senses and I saw what an ugly mannered hoe you are. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be bothered with you. Man, I would be so, she would have got an earful from me. One thing you not gonna do is criticize me and think I'm not gonna clap back. Okay. You were supposed to leave her in confetti shreds on the floor. That's what you're supposed to do. You were not supposed to write to me talking about, oh, my feelings. I don't know what to do. You're supposed to light her ass up. That's what you're supposed to do. Everything that you knew about her that was raggedy and fucked up, every stupid decision she made, every raggedy problem that she had in a relationship, every time somebody dogged her out, you're supposed to trot all of that stuff out and devastate her and then deuce out and block her so she can't respond. No. When people call themselves being your friends, they need to watch what the fuck they say to you, especially when they know that you got dirt on them. Don't talk crazy to me, because I'm going to end you. I'm going to talk about all kind of stuff about you because I already know you because we was, quote, friends, but we ain't no more. So there's no reason for me to have any pity on you or to have any kind of conscience about what I say that's going to devastate you. I want you to cry. I want you to cry for the next 2 weeks. I want you to run over there and be thinking about suicide. That's how bad I want you to hurt. And I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to say everything I felt like saying. I'm going to make up shit. Whatever. I don't know. No. I know I'm evil, but I'm just saying. She thought she was being slick and she knew that you're insecure and she did this intentionally to hurt you. That's what I'm saying. When you understand that someone's trying to hurt you, the kid gloves come off. Kid gloves come off and you go for the jugular. Okay. You should not have stopped talking for 5 minutes while you read her like a book. You know what I mean? It's like you somebody, when you have some friends, your friendship means that you love and respect that person. So even if they do something that's not real cool, you're gonna have a conversation about it, but you're not gonna talk to them the way that she talked to him. That was just fucking rude. And it was designed to make him feel bad. So when you know you got that kind of, quote, friend, you shouldn't have no qualms about telling them about themselves. Yeah, put her head on the chopping block and just go to work. I can't stand women like that. I don't know, because I mean, especially, I don't know, he didn't say anything about what she looked like. That would have been the ideal thing, especially if she has any kind of insecurities about her body. Oh boy, we putting that on Front Street. We're going to lead with that, whatever it is. So, people really need to watch their mouths when they dealing with somebody like me. Yeah, I was terrible. I was terrible. I have really mellowed out, but man, from that 18 to about 30, oof, I don't know. I probably would be scared of myself at this point. Question number 9, female 20 to 34, Bolton, the Greater Manchester in the UK. So I have issue. My boyfriend wants me there constantly because he feels he can't do work without me. I can't be there all the time. No, I want to be. Okay, you talking too much. And we are fighting a lot because of it. Okay, do you understand the word summary? Summary doesn't mean you go into detail. It means you give like a, 10-word summary, just concise. Okay, here we go. I'm going to change that field so it cuts you off. I'm finding it very tiring at this point. I don't live with him. We have been together for 4 years and we are 28 and 31. I generally stay at his place on the weekends. He was working full time and things were better then, although he would still come up with a lot of demands. But as of September, he's gone back to school. It's a heavy workload with a demanding degree and he finds it a lot of work. I also help him when I can, but it's 100% his choice to go back to school. And yes, it means he will struggle financially and with time and projects for the next 3 years. He has ADHD, which is medicated. I don't know if it's directly related, but he takes much longer than everyone else to get anything done. He has accommodations through school, but he still takes very long to complete assignments and projects. Because of ADHD, I guess, he also struggles to do anything if I'm not sitting there with him, which doesn't really work for me. He is currently working on an assignment that was due days ago. He has spent several days working on it. During these days, I go there and putter around, tidy up a bit, watch movies while he works. He's always pouty when I leave. He suggests that he doesn't really work much when I'm not there, putting the onus on me to stay for hours or he, quote, can't work. I've made suggestions for other ways he can work. I've even suggested he hire someone to sit with him and keep him accountable. Tell him to get a damn dog. Like clockwork, he's now mad at me. Even though I spent hours and hours with him trying to help, I clean his house, I look after errands for him and decorate his house for Christmas and proofread his drafts. He is completely sleep deprived. I was there for 8 hours yesterday and had to leave to go to an event last night. But last night he was texting me, asking me to come over back at 6. I don't want to. I said I have a few errands to run and I'd be there by noon. Then he got furious. Suddenly he's telling me I don't help him with anything. I don't care about him, on and on. I do love him and want to stay together. Why? Why? But this happens all the time. I don't know what to do to sidestep these unreasonable demands on my time without ending up in a big argument on a very regular basis. Any ideas? Yes, it's called boop, deuce out. That's what it's called. You tell him to get you a dog, somebody who want to sit up under you and lay at your feet and watch you type or do whatever it is you're doing, listen to you, smell your farts, all the stuff that you want somebody to do, somebody being with you 24 hours a day. Get you a dog. That's what you need. Don't get a cat because cats don't want to be bothered with you too much. You might find one that does like it, but in general, cats are like, yeah, well, okay, we cuddled. That was enough of that. I'm on about my business now. Dogs are more, they want to be up under you more. He need a dog. That's what he need. He need an emotional support dog. And as far as you treat going over there, tidying up and sitting there and holding his hand while he studies and all that stuff, tell him to flunk out and just go get a job like everybody else. I don't have time for that. He's trying to make it her spot, her fault. Well, you need to stay. Otherwise, I can't study. Well, guess what? I don't give a fuck if you study or not. I don't care if you get a degree or not. I don't care if you have a job or not. I don't care about you or not. I care about what's going on in my life. You try to put all that blame and responsibility on me. You don't want to decide to go carry your ass back to school and be broke and do something that you're not going to be good at. That was your choice. So you make it work. If not, then you know what to do about it. Oh my God. Question 10, female 22 to 27 from Calgary, Canada. Summary of issue. My 22-year-old boyfriend suddenly becomes sick whenever I'm sick and it's driving me insane. Oh, really? I'm 23 and we've been together for 2 years. Every single time I become sick, my boyfriend starts complaining about being so much sicker than me. For example, when I had tonsillitis, he suddenly was dying from tonsillitis too. When I had a UTI, he's suddenly dying from a UTI. Every single time I get better, he magically gets better too. Your boyfriend is stupid. I got very sick on the 23rd of the month and have been in bed for all of Christmas. I'm really upset over missing the holiday, and I can't even complain about it to him as now he's suddenly dying sick with the same thing, but it's somehow worse. This virus has me bedbound for 4 days, and he went out last night drinking and is currently going to work, but insists he's just as sick as me. How can I get him to stop driving me mad? You break up with him. What's wrong with you? Why would you put up with somebody like this? To him, it's like a competition, and you don't understand the game here. See, normally when you're sick and you are in a relationship, your partner has to step up and kind of help take care of you. They might run errands for you, do some laundry. If you sweat a lot, they'll help change the bedding. They'll bring you water, tea, soup, whatever. By claiming that he's sicker than you are, it removes him from that responsibility. So he doesn't have to do anything for you because he's sicker than you. See, you're not understanding what's going on. This is his excuse to avoid doing anything to support you when you're not feeling well. So what you need to understand is you have someone who has gone out of his way to figure out a way to leave you hanging and leave you doing everything by yourself. What you're in this quote relationship for, I don't understand it. If you can't depend on your partner when you're down and out, then there's no reason to be in the relationship. You're in a situation where you're sick and you can't do for yourself. You in bed for 4 days. I've been sick like that. And he leaves you to go out and party and all that kind of stuff. See, you should understand what this picture is. I think you kind of grasping it, but not really. This is with intent, forethought, malice. He has no intention of going out of his way to help you do anything. This is his excuse. Well, I couldn't do it because I was sick too. I was sicker than her. If anything, she should be helping me. Okay, that's the kind of guy that you got. You need to get rid of this fool. And how you just gonna act like you have tonsillitis? Yeah, he's he worse than useless. Question 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Nottingham, England. Summary of issue. My 24-year-old boyfriend, wait, she's 24 and the boyfriend's 22, I'm sorry, requested a boys' night out and then ended up spending the night with another woman. Oh, how do I explain that I'm not trying to be controlling, but that is still pretty hurtful? Why would you be explaining that? Let's hear this sad tale of woe. My boyfriend decided to spend the night with his guy friends, and I was fine with it. He has every right to do so, even though I was in a clubbing mood, and I would have loved to join them had I known they were going to a club. But I'm happy when he's enjoying himself with his friends. But the next day, his friend told me that the third single friend started talking to some girl that was there with her girlfriend, and that the other girl started talking to my boyfriend. He told her that he was taken, but they spent the night together dancing without touching, talking, and then started following each other on Instagram the next day. My boyfriend told me the same story on his own, so it didn't seem to feel weird about it or anything. My issue is that I felt left out since I thought it was supposed to be a boys' night out, and I felt like some random took my place and got to spend the night with my boyfriend. Okay, you say spend the night like it's like sheets involved. You just using inflammatory language. I don't feel jealous since I feel there was anything shady going on, but I do feel a bit disrespected and alienated. I communicated this to my boyfriend, and he has admitted that following on Instagram was too much, but he has a right to meet new people and not take me everywhere he goes, which I, of course, agree with in theory, but the whole club situation doesn't sit well with me. How can I explain that I'm not trying to be controlling, but that this particular situation just feels weird? He's expressed that he feels like it's his right to do things like this. Okay. So what you do, you stop talking. You stop talking because see, men like him, they don't understand until they feel the feelings. So what you do is you go with some of your girlfriends to a club. Don't tell him which one because he can't club. He won't show up. And tell them if he calls them or something, that tell them that we don't know yet. We haven't decided. We'll make a decision when we get together. So we don't know yet. And then y'all go together. It's probably better not to even tell them that you're going to a club. Just tell them, you guys going to dinner and a movie or something. And then you're going to end up at the club, right? But he don't need to know that in advance. You at the club. And then you make sure you take some selfies with some cute dudes. Post them on your walls and stuff. Make sure you get everybody's Instagram number, handle, whatever. And then you go home. And then he's going to be like, well, where were you? So, I was at a club. And you're going to repeat back everything that happened that he did, right? Everything that he did, you're going to say it too. And then you're going to sit there like Seeley and just look at him and see what comes out of his mouth. Because see, when you got dudes like this, they claim they don't understand it's not a problem. It's never like that until they feel what you felt. So you got to go out of your way to take it and jug him with that knife so he feels that a little sharp pains of jealousy and insecurity that you feel. He needs to feel that too. So, you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to use words. You show them. Men understand actions. They don't really pay too much attention to words. They understand action. So you said now you don't say nothing else. You set this plan in motion. Ideally, it would be like, I don't know, soon. Even New Year's Eve would be good. Go to some New Year's Eve party with your girls if you got some that's single. That's what I would do. She's not a bugaboo. He's just tripping. Yeah, he's just doing too much. Question number 12. This young lady's in the 18 to 21 age group from Toledo, Ohio. Summary of issue: my ex-boyfriend wants me back. I'm 18 and my boyfriend is 19. We broke up. He broke up with me right before our 1-month anniversary. Oh my God, that wasn't no boyfriend. Because his ex came back and he didn't know what to do. He's been with her for 4 years, and I assume it's attachment issues. They broke up because of the long distance for 3 months before I dated him, and she just came back to the city and asked if he wants to date her again. After he broke the news to me, I told him never to contact me again. But 1 or 2 days later, he started spamming my phone, wanting me back and telling me he messed up and keeps thinking about me and crying, and he's begging. I had 30 missed calls from him. I ignored every one. 30 texts. He texted me on TikTok, even on WhatsApp, pleading and begging, telling me he knows he messed up and that he's sorry, and he knows it's hard for me to trust him again. But the biggest problem is I still have feelings for him. I'm ignoring him today and for a bit, but I don't know what I should do. See, okay, do y'all understand this? Why is it that, okay, somebody breaks up with you? Even if you broke up with them, that's even more reason. But somebody threw you to the trash pile like you was yesterday's news and went back to some other woman. And you did not block him from having access to you on every platform that there is, even future platforms that haven't even been invented yet. You didn't take any step to do that. You know why you did that? Because y'all want to hear from them. You want drama like this in your life. You want to sit there and fantasize about you getting back together. You just love all this drama. That's what it is. If you was really through with him and your pride was really injured and you really felt disrespected and tossed aside, you would have blocked him so that he couldn't come back and hurt you again. That's what you would have done, but you didn't do that. You didn't do that. There's no way in this world some man's going to tell me, leave me for some other woman, and then he's going to come running back. He's not going to be able to reach me. I told him to never contact me again, but you didn't block him, though, so he could. You're full of shit. I still have feelings for him. That's why you didn't block him. I'm going to tell you this. Soon as she comes and does her finger like this, he's going to be right back over there, and you're going to be tossed right back in the curb. Because that's the man he loves. I mean, this woman he loves. You were like the what they call it? The bounce back chick. What they call it? Rebound. You were the rebound chick. He don't have any feelings for you. You were just something to do while he waited for her to come back to town. But you don't understand that. Don't play yourself cheap like this. If you're going to be with a guy, make sure it's a guy who values you, who respects you, who wants you more than he wants anybody else. Who's going to go through some changes to keep you. This is not that dude. You not valuing yourself in this situation. Question number 13. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Wichita, Kansas. I don't know how my partner mismanages money so badly that we may become homeless with our baby. Wow. I'm 28 and he's 33. We have a 6-month-old and we are several months behind on rent and utility payments, which his brother and wife have graciously covered for us. Things are getting very strange, and I don't know how or why we've gotten ourselves in so much debt. I'm afraid we might lose our house because his brother will have to sell it. For background, we live in a beautiful house that his brother owns. We used to work at the same chimney company as his brother, but quit due to disagreements with management. Chimney company. Oh, yeah, well, I guess in Kansas, that is probably a popular thing. Since he's an accomplished tradesman, I encourage him to work for himself. And he's been getting a lot of handyman, moving, and carpentry gigs. I worked through my pregnancy, but given that I didn't make enough money to cover childcare as a barista and antique shop assistant, we decided that I would stay home. I filed all the paperwork for us to get welfare through the state, and we qualified for a lot. We paid nothing for my hospital delivery and our child's doctor visits, and we don't spend any of our own money on food and instead use food stamps. That's why I'm so confused as how my partner hasn't been paying the rent, gas, and electric to his brother. He's very introverted and he doesn't go out, but he does spend on his hobbies and tools. I know he has been working because I know his customers and some of his projects are from home. He can get very depressed and down on himself, but lately he's been lashing out at me, saying I don't do enough and I need to contribute more. I spend all day cooking, cleaning, and caring for our daughter. I'm also the reason we have our benefits. I know gas is expensive, but that's the only thing I can think of for spending. I cover all my baby and all my and the baby's expenses through my family or through welfare. I think he's hiding something from me, and I'm really scared to ask him in case he blows up and starts yelling at me. He's very sweet and tender to our daughter and complimentary to me on good days, but he does have a temper. Any advice on how I can approach this? I'm also really isolated, haven't made any close friends to confide in since moving. You don't need to confide in close friends. What you need to do is start noticing his eyes. Are his pupils dilated when he comes in? Is he spending it? Do you have any way to track what he's spending it on? Any access to the bank account? His phone? Is he like spending it on some OnlyFans accounts? Is he gambling? Is he using drugs? It has to be one of those where he never had no money. and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. He's either gambling and losing, he's using street drugs, or he's spending it on stuff he shouldn't be spending it on online sites. So it's going to be one of those three. Which one, I don't know. But you need to do a little investigation, ask his brother if he knows anything. And then you need to start making preparations to get out of there, because that welfare is for you and the baby. It's not for him. He's a fully functional man. He doesn't need that. That's mainly that's to help you with your little barista job, take care of that baby that you shouldn't have had. See, guess what? If you wouldn't have had that baby, then you wouldn't be stuck like this. You wouldn't be tripping like this. You did this to yourself, having some raggedy motherfucker's baby that you're not married to. Thank God, because he's an idiot. You just made one bad decision after another. You think I'm going to go easy on you because he's doing what he's doing? Nope. Because like I said, you wouldn't be in this situation if you hadn't had that stupid baby. You did this. So now you stuck, and you're going to be stuck with him for the next 18 years with visitation and child support and this and that. And since you're getting benefits from the state, county, whatever, they're going to go after him for child support, and he's going to have to pay, because they don't play that. They will attach your paycheck, your driver's license, your tax returns. They don't give a fuck. They're going to take everything until they, recoup their money. You need to start figuring out what kind of education you're going to do. See if you can do some online job training, so that when your welfare days are up, you have a career besides steam and coffee, which is for college students and high school students or something. That's not for adult women who are mothers, making that little chump change. Get you a real job, and then they'll help you with daycare and stuff like that till you get on your feet. That's what you need. Apply for Section 8 for some housing or subsidized housing, whatever you're going to do. I put in your application now, and then let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, it's something like that. It's something like that, because he ain't paid no money for months. So it's something serious. But she doesn't sound like she's astute enough to know what the signs to look for when someone is using drugs, street drugs. She doesn't sound like she's, that savvy. She would notice his dilated pupils, his irregular breathing, his rapid heart rate, his, the sweating that they do. Yeah, she don't sound like she would know. I'll be looking like, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Yeah, I know it's one of those. It could be a combination. I mean, he could be doing more than one thing. You know what I mean? We don't know, but he's doing something. He's doing something. At least one of those three things. Okay, so let's move on. Question 14. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's from San Mateo, California. Summary issue: I am 18 and I have a 1-year-old daughter. Are guys willing to date someone with a child? Okay, I know I'm about to be mad, y'all. I'm about to be mad. I am about to be pissed. Deb, I haven't had luck with any guys coming to me about dating, only for eggplant. I'm very close with this one guy, but he said he cannot date me because I have a child. I understand they don't want another man's spawn. I do. But I would really like to get back into dating, and I just feel like no guy will want me. I'm 5'3", 102 pounds with green eyes and dirty blondish hair. Okay. I'm going to try not to be too mean to you, but okay, girl. You doing shit backwards. Why, if you only 18 years old and you want to date, did you go and have some motherfucker's baby? What the fuck did you do that shit for? Do you know how stupid you are? Yeah, and I'm just sorry. I mean, it's like I have to do this every week. You young girls just kill me with this. All this birth control out here. And y'all keep getting pregnant by some men that you don't even know where they are by the time you have the baby. In 9 months, they just went up in a puff of smoke and disappeared. That means what? How much of a commitment could you have had with the clown? You wasn't engaged, you wasn't married. So guess what that means? And you too young for that anyway. Didn't you have dreams of doing something else with your life besides breeding with some fool? I know these girls, I mean, And now you got this baby and you want to be bringing the baby around all these different motherfuckers that you want to be dating. Do you know that is an instant way for your child to be victimized? You not thinking right. You know what you should do? You should go to social services or adoption agency and say, I have a 1-year-old that I need to give up for adoption because I'm still a kid myself. I can't deal with the responsibility and the obligations of parenting because I'm too immature. I made a very bad decision to do this. Can you please help my child find a good home? Some people who want a baby, who can't have one, and they would love to have her, and I'll sign the paperwork. They're gonna be like, well, who's the daddy? I don't know. I was just being drunk and I was, different. I don't know who the father, just lie. As long as he didn't sign the birth certificate, you okay. And then you be like, you give that up and then you tighten up your birth control and you get your shit together. That baby would then have the opportunity to be raised by some people who are in a position to take care of it, who are mature and who can provide it with stuff like education, safe housing, good nutritious food, medical care, and a solid education, which none of which you can do. Okay, you just had a baby, just doing miscellaneous, buy some miscellaneous random food. Give that baby up for adoption next week. And then you get your ass in school and you get your shit together. That's what you need to do. You would be giving yourself a second chance at life. You should not be wasting it chasing after these fool men, though. Chase after some money. Chase after some knowledge. Chase after greatness. That's what you need to chase after. Your standards and your goals are way too low. I'm just not feeling you at all. You need some different kind of parenting than what you got. So I'm giving it to you. That's my tough love lesson for today. Do it. Do it next week. Question number 15, female, 35 to 41 from London. Summary of issue. My husband of 15 years told me, your job doesn't do anything for this family. I want to get your all's perspective. I told him my need to work a few hours yesterday to make a deadline. I asked if we could watch our daughter, who's 4, for a few hours. He agreed and then let out a sigh. I asked him what was wrong, and he said I didn't really need to do it, and nonchalantly says, your job does nothing for this family. The fact that he said those words to me really hurt. My mouth dropped open and I walked into my office. I later told him I felt disrespected and those words made me feel like I was less important than him. I wanted an apology. He tried to explain that he felt his job pays for everything. My job is insignificant in comparison. He told me he considers my job me time. All that he said to me was I was a poor choice of words, but he won't apologize for hurting me. Oh, really? He makes a good living. I don't need to work. I work part-time, but I do it because I enjoy it. It's flexible, and because of it, I can pay for extras like house cleaning because I can't do it all, and activities for our daughter. I'm really frustrated. I told him I would never say anything like that to anyone even if I felt it was true. But he won't apologize after I asked him to, and I'm still pissed. Deb, unfortunately, I'm not one to stand up for myself. I'm working on being more assertive in therapy, so maybe he was surprised I came back to tell him how hurt I was rather than just not responding as I usually would. Ideas on how to resolve this fight? Tell your therapist to work with you on how you can start cussing people out. Tell her, go in there, look in the dictionary, find a whole bunch of cuss words, and then say, I need someone to tutor me on how to cuss a motherfucker out. That's what I need. I need lessons on that. So let me tell you how this would have went. So he says, your money don't do nothing for this family. Just like your dick don't do shit for me. But guess what? We both have to suffer through. And it's not about you. It's not about this family. This is about me, motherfucker. I enjoy it. It brings in money that I get to spend, and it gives me time away from your raggedy ass demanding shit all the time. So yeah, it brings a lot into this family because the fact that all of you are still living. Because otherwise I would have went smooth the fuck off on all y'all. But this job helps ease my stress. So you know what? Since I don't do shit for this family, guess what? I'm not doing shit for this family. So you want something to cook, motherfucker, you cook it. You want something clean, motherfucker, put on the rubber gloves and make it happen. You want to do anything in this house, it's going to be on you to do it because I'm done. Lack of respect, motherfucker, that's what you going to get. That's what you will see. Oh, no. I mean, I don't do shit and nothing brings value to this family. Let me show you what that looks like. Let me show you because you obviously don't appreciate nothing. So you need a firsthand lesson. Now, that's what you need to do. Now, you over there, where are you in London? Oh, it would be so cute to hear you cussing him out with your all little accent. It's so adorable. Because I hear people talking with their little British accent. I'd be like, so cute. But no, you need to cuss him out. There's no way in this world you should have took that. And he gonna be talking to you like that. Oh man, ooh. Your neighbors would have come outside with popcorn for the show that I would have put on. And he would have deserved every bit of it. Oh, I was doing pretty good. I wasn't really cussing that much, but this pissed me off. I can't stand it when people act like that. Told you what I did to my husband. Talking about, well, I don't know what you do all day. He said that to me exactly one time. I said, oh, you don't? Well, you about to find out. But I didn't tell him that. I said, oh, well, yeah, I guess you might not understand. That's all I said, right? And so, I don't know, like a week or so went by because I had to put everything in place. I had to, I had to get some stuff over to my auntie's house and then from there to a friend's house that he didn't know about. And then I said, oh, I'm going to run to the store because all my stuff was already gone, right? So when I left, I just had my purse. I said, I'm going to run to the store and then I'll be back. I didn't come back for 2 days. Guess who had a whole new attitude when I did come back? Because he got to see what I do all damn day. You think it's easy to take care of a 6-month-old, 7-month-old baby? It's so easy. You don't know what I do all day? There you go. Figure it out. And after that, that was Mr. Johnny on the spot. Yeah, it was very rude. But it's the kind of thing like I said, I'm gonna show you better than I could tell you. So I just said, oh, you don't understand, huh? And he could tell by the way I said it was gonna be a problem. But I didn't say anything at that time. I just said, oh, okay. That's all I said. But I think he knew, he said, oh shit. Mouth, you've done it now. But it was too late because I'm like, okay. And after that, he never said anything like that to me again. He was always, even if somebody else said it, he defended me. I mean, I went back to work and everything like that. But you know what I mean? You with dudes, you just can't keep talking. You can't talk to them. You have to show them. They don't understand until they experience it themselves. And so that's what I chose to do. He didn't know where I was. My auntie said, she all right though. She called me out. She knows she's alive and she ain't been in an accident. It's nothing to worry about. She just gone. She wants you to have some bonding time with your child. Bond away, motherfucker. Bond away. Clown. Oh yeah, that was a big fight. I was so mad. It was so hard to keep my face straight for that week while I set up. I had to ease my stuff, my go out outfit, all my stuff, everything I needed for 2 days. I had to ease it out because I couldn't walk out the house at that moment with a bag, right? So everything was already, everything I needed was already gone. I left him that baby. I said her stuff is in the refrigerator. There's plenty of diapers and all this other stuff here. And I'll see y'all in a couple of hours because I need to run, do a little shopping. And he thought he was just going to, have fun with her for a couple of hours. And then I was going to be back at the nighttime. He said she screamed so loud and so long, he didn't know what to do. I'm like, I see you must have dealt with it though. Yeah, it's hard because you have to steel yourself because your kid's going to be upset. You know what I mean? But it's something that we had to do. It's like if this didn't happen, our marriage was going to be at risk. Because one thing Deb's not going to do is you talking to me all kind of crazy. It's going to make me fall out of love with you. So I gave him the side eye, like I said, and I'm like, okay. And then I did that, and he it could have gone 2 ways. He could have went off and just acted a complete fool, in which case I would have got the baby and left him for good. Or he could have ate crow, apologized, and said it'll never happen again and make sure it didn't. And that's the path he took. So that was why it's, we stayed married. Honey, sometimes I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm not going to yell and scream unless I just want to. But, if it's somebody I love and respect, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to show you the error of your ways so you understand how you fucked up. Question number 16, male 28 to 34 from San Jose, California. Summary of issue. My girlfriend's silent treatment is slowly destroying my mental health. Why? Why is that? Let's hear his story. My girlfriend and I are both 30. We've dated for almost 2 years. The last 6 months or so, I've been treated to a new side of her, the silent treatment. Here's the thing. It appears at seemingly random times and out of nowhere. A lovely hike in the morning is followed by a total 180-degree mood change on the very long car ride home. A bubbly disposition in company turns cold. My partner's face drops into an almost expressionless, chilly look. She goes quiet, answers questions and responds to comments with one or two quick, blunt words. The silence and tension is palpable. I used to prod her to try to get to the bottom of it. Say, well, did I do something wrong? Inadvertently offend, step on her toe, forget a detail in conversation. She denies that anything is wrong. The silence continues through the night, sometimes into the next day until I finally ask again, and she lets me have it for some small infraction. For example, telling a long story amongst friends, not taking the bin out before trash pickup, not taking my shoes off, walking into the house, complaining about the cost of rent too much. Now, I don't prod anymore in hopes that she will communicate with me and not put us through the time consuming and emotionally taxing back and forth for a whole day. But honestly, staying strong and not giving in is so hard, and the anxiety really is affecting my mental health. I've told her this behavior makes me anxious. She seems sympathetic, but instead of making a compromise of some sort, suggests that maybe we're just not compatible. You're supposed to say, "You're right." Let's finish this in a minute. I'm flummoxed and tired and emotionally drained. What's the end game here? The silent treatment is truly horrible, and I don't see myself staying in this relationship if it doesn't change. It's just not sustainable. Maybe that's what she wanted all along. Exactly. Whether she wanted it, consciously or not, that's what she gonna get. Because let me tell you, dude, what you're supposed to do, okay, when people try to play this silent treatment game, you play with them. Okay, most people though don't understand that this is a power maneuver. So they oh my God, did I do something? Or the stuff that you said, they trying to figure out what they did wrong. They go down the checklist of everything they did and said, and they all fretting and worried and stuff. And then they asking the person over and over, well, what did I do? What did I say? And they're just worried about it stuff. Deb don't give a fuck. But if anything, what you supposed to do when she be quiet is say, God, it's so nice and quiet here. With you not running your damn mouth. I love it. Why don't you do this more often? I can't stand it because you're always talking about something, but now you're quiet. It's lovely. Turn on the music in your car ride when she was being quiet. You should have turned on some music that you know she hates and start singing loud as hell. Something hopefully with a whole bunch of bass, right? Boom, 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 all the way home. And she can't touch the controls because it's your car. So you touch my controls, you get put out on the side of the road. That's the rule. It's my car, my music. And then, like, you at a party or an event or something, and she starts looking all stupid. Then you're supposed to look at her and say, what you looking all stupid like that for? In front of everybody. Embarrass her. Everybody's head would turn and look at her and say, yeah, why are you looking like that? You see what I mean? So then she would feel embarrassed and humiliated because she's trying to play that game in front of everybody and other people wouldn't be going for it. And you just drew attention to it. Like, I don't know why she'd be doing it. She'd be looking all stupid. Everybody else having a good time and she over there looking all stupid. I don't know what's wrong with her. And then you going back to doing what you was doing. Go dance with somebody else, get you a drink, just have a good time. And they totally ignore her because she's doing it to control you. She wants to get a certain rise out of you, a certain emotional response, and she wants you to feel a certain type of pain and confusion. You fell into the trap with because you didn't know the game. But now I'm just telling you the game. Anytime they do that silent treatment shit, you just roll right with it and don't give a damn. And it totally yanks the rug out from under them because the power that they thought they was going to get over you, they don't have it, and you letting them know they don't have it. And so they, have to try something new. So usually after they do it a couple of times, they realize it's not working, they stop doing it. But hunty, that's my problem. I just know too many games. Now she just being a bitch. I've had men do that to me. Like the same thing. You have a great time out, wonderful evening. They get in the car, right? It's time for the evening to end. Suddenly they face all twisty up. They get the twisty face, the lip curl thing. And then they start, they don't want to say nothing. So, because, normally you'd be like, why are you so quiet? Or what's wrong with you? Something like that, right? You ask, that's going to be normal. You're going to ask one time. And then they say nothing or, they don't say anything and just, look at you with a look or they look out the window and, roll their eyes, something like that. Music. Driving with one hand. I'm not bothered. Be quiet. It's better anyway because I hear my music better without having to listen to you. Keep turning it down so I can hear the nonsense that's coming out your raggedy ass mouth. I don't want to hear you talk. The silent treatment is only abusive, Larissa. I just ran through the game. I don't know if you were here. It's only abusive if you allow it to be. It's only a power move if you let it be. If you don't give them the power and you don't have it, don't put any energy into it, then it's not abusive and it's not a power route. It's them trying to do that to you, but they're going to fail. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm running the game down in minute detail to y'all. So if anybody does this again, you will know how to respond and remove that little game from their mouth before it even gets started. So, sir, that's what's going on with you. But unfortunately, you've already played your hand because you didn't know the game at 30, which I'm shocked at. But what you're going to have to do is just end this. Next time she's quiet, say, well, you give her a note and say, well, I would like to continue this silence, but you're going to do it at your house and I'm going to do it at mine and we're through. And then that's it. That's the end. You check out. Yeah, it's like, these games, it's just, that's what we do on this channel. That's what we do the DNN because it's like, the games that come through on those memes and stuff and the comments that these clowns post. And also, you guys, if you see stuff, DNN doesn't, you submit stuff for DNN year round. We do the shows in the summertime. But if you see something online, that you think would be good for the show, please email it in. We need stuff, for the first couple of shows before y'all get in the mood. So we got to get stuff in advance. You email your memes, your screenshots of crazy posts you see, whatever it is that the kind of stuff we do on the Dusty News Network, and email it to survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line Dusty News or DNN, either one. So yeah, this is Dusty. This is number 17, question 17, female in the 22 to 27 age group from Boulder, Colorado. Summary of issue. During our honeymoon, my new husband told me that I wasn't dressing sexy enough, which has led to insecurities for me and is now causing problems in our marriage. Oh boy. He didn't even wait. He started on the honeymoon. My husband and I were 27 and 29, have been married for 3 months. And I can't stop thinking about something that he said to me during our honeymoon in St. Lucia. He didn't want to sleep with me, and I didn't think much of it because we had a long flight and we're both exhausted. Yeah, from Colorado to St. Lucia. I mean, we were on our honeymoon. He tried to change the topic, but I really felt the need to clear this up. And after thinking about it for a couple of minutes, he said that my outfits weren't sexy and that I didn't dress up for him, perfume, makeup, etc. That hurt very much. I remember going into the bathroom crying, but you couldn't lock the door, so he came in. That's when I left the hotel and went to the beach at 11 p.m. That's not really smart. It's dangerous. He didn't come after me, which hurt me again. And after I went back to the room, I cleaned up and got into bed. It was horrible. We didn't speak for almost 2 days. I felt disgusting and didn't know what to wear because there weren't any shops and I couldn't change my outfits. I also felt so sad because I bought so many new lingerie and bikinis for our honeymoon, but it still wasn't enough. I can't tell the whole story about what happened next because that would be too long. Thank you. But we eventually made up and tried to enjoy our honeymoon. But now it's been over 2 months and I still can't get over it. I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. I threw a lot of my clothes away. Every time I put on a nice new dress, he doesn't compliment me. I immediately think that I'm ugly. I used to be so confident. Before I met him, I was very overweight, but I lost that weight completely and felt so good for the first time. That feeling got lost. I spent so much money on perfume, dresses, etc. Our intimacy has become better. He wants to get busy every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, but I still don't feel confident. How can I overcome this? I feel like this will ruin our marriage because it has made me very resentful. Am I exaggerating? What should I do? You should get an annulment. Let me tell you why. I don't know what kind of game he was playing to get you to marry him, but then the second you said I do, you on your honeymoon, he proceeds to start this reign of terror on your self-esteem and these abusive tactics on you. The only thing you can do with a man like this is get out of it. He's got an agenda. I don't know what it is. Do you have money? Does your family have money? What's going on here? What is his goal in game where he's trying so hard to get control over you? There has to be something here that you didn't tell me. It must be that you got some money. You got something that he wants control over. So if he gets control over you, he's going to have control over that too. But I'm going to tell you something. You said that you used to be confident. You weren't confident. Your confidence was based on what other people told you and what other people said about you and compliments that you got from other people, which is a lot of young women's problems. You don't feel anything on your own. You have no self-esteem. Your quote self-esteem is what you all call it, comes from other people telling you that you're beautiful, other people telling you that they're fine, other people telling you that you're gorgeous, other people telling you you're smart, other people telling you whatever. You depend on other people's opinions to define who and what you are. That's why his comments here are bothering you so much, because you don't really believe any of that stuff that you told yourself that you were confident over. You didn't believe it. If you did believe it, you would have said, shut the fuck up. I'm nobody trying to hear what you're talking about. You know, just like we got married, we can be unmarried. Is that what you want? Because I'm not trying to hear this. As soon as we get back from this raggedy ass honeymoon, we can end this bullshit right here, because this is some shit I'm not going to be tolerating. That's what you were supposed to say to him. And then he want to be acting out. He don't want to talk to you for 2 days. You're supposed to go downstairs and get you a separate hotel room and tell him, you know, he's going to pay for that. I'm going to get something else. And then you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to go into the resort nightclub and bar and the restaurant and have yourself a good time. You're supposed to lay out by the pool in your new bikinis and have yourself a good time. Make friends with some other single girls that I'm sure were there and have yourself a good time. You're not supposed to be sitting around feeling bad and throwing away your clothes and thinking that his opinion, some Mickey Mouse words that he says, are valid and they're an indictment of who you are. That's why I know you don't really have any self-esteem. You put too much weight on what he says to the point where it impacts your whole life and you're feeling lost. Get yourself to a shrink. Get your self-esteem together and your mind right. And then get out of this bullshit here. You just been married for 3 months. Too bad you didn't write sooner. But you probably it's not too late. And get this annulled. It'll be like it never happened. Okay. You want to do that because I'm thinking, like I said, there's something he's after here. And it must be that you or your family has some money. But what you want to do is annul it, and you want to do it now. And you want to tell your parents, if this is true, y'all got some money, get them involved and get their attorneys involved and end this shit. So anything he think he's going to get from you, he's going to walk away with nothing, because you'll be annulled and be like it never happened. He is on some bullshit. Man, why don't I ever meet men like this so I could dog them? That would just make my day. Question number 18, female, 28 to 34 from London. The male in question is 35 to 41. Summary of issue. I'm 30 and my partner is 37. I want my tubes tied, but he wants another baby. My partner of 7 years wants another child when we are more financially stable. He just wants one more than he wants to get a vasectomy. So let's see. He's 37 and you're 30. Okay. I have found out after my one child and a new bipolar diagnosis that I don't want any more children. Yes, I love my child, but before my bipolar diagnosis, we would throw snowballs, play in the snow, go to water parks, and just in general get out and have fun. Now with all my new medications, I don't enjoy things like I used to. I'm not much of an outdoor enthusiast anymore. I feel terrible that my daughter is already missing out on what used to be fun for her. Also, my child is autistic, which is a huge struggle alone. Watching her peers surpass her and do things she can't, it breaks my heart. I want to give the child we already have programs that will help her develop, after school programs and vacations. I will say her dad is great at joking with her or lending a hand where needed, but unless I ask him to, he doesn't bathe her, doesn't take her out, isn't brushing her hair, just the little things that add up to a big deal and red flag for having another child. How old is this kid? You just don't say. Okay. You don't say how old she is. But, I'm of the mind that I don't think he need to be bathing her anyway. Okay. Men don't need to be bathing baby girls, little girls, young girls, female children. I'm not a fan of that. All right. I don't want to go through the first years again. I like it when my child can vocalize what's wrong using words. Not to mention I'm bipolar. I would have to switch medications to have a baby, and that could send me into psychosis again. Bipolar is also hereditary. We already have one autistic child. We don't need another one bipolar, as I've struggled my whole life with this. Wow. It took you till 30 to get a diagnosis? That's sad. There are just 1,000,001 reasons to not have many more children, and I don't see one reason to have them. I just want my tubes tied. I don't want IUDs anymore as they are painful to insert and to remove. I just want to be done and at peace knowing that I'm going to help the child I have, and that's it. I don't want to go back to diapers, spending thousands of dollars on cribs, strollers, formula, and everything when my child is older. That's insanity. How can I get my partner to understand why I don't think we should have any more children? I've told him I want my tubes tied. I've told everyone I want my tubes tied, and everyone else is so supportive except my partner. I don't want to get it done without my partner's involvement, and my IUD is good for another 5 years, but I just want this off my mind. No babies, no mistakes or accidents, just peace. Okay, why do you feel like you need his buy-in of what you do with your body? And when you having a kid with all these problems, it's going to be your time. You said all he does is play with the kid a little bit. So it's not an investment that he's making. That's why he wants you to be to double down on the bullshit, so that you be stressed out with 2 kids that have autism and special needs and all this old stuff here. Girl, if you don't take yourself or get your tubes tied, tell him after it's done. Then be prepared though. I mean, he might say he want to have another kid. Then you say, okay, bye. Because everything that you said here makes complete logical sense. You already have a child who needs you and needs all this extra help just to try to achieve normalcy. Oh, here we go. But he just wants to just keep breeding babies that's going to have problems made by a woman who's already got problems. So all you have to do is tell him it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If you want another child, you're going to have to go have it with someone else and we'll break up. You have to be that blunt with him. It's like, I said no, and that's what I mean. I'm not having any more kids. I can't handle it mentally or emotionally. I can't do it. And you're not enough of a help around here to make a difference. So that's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. And so I'm saying no. That no is written in stone. Is never going to change. And like I said, if that's a problem for you, then there's the door. Make it happen. Ta-ta. It's been magical for the last 7 years. But, you didn't say nothing about husband. You said partner. So fuck him. You don't owe him shit. Just tell him, make sure that when the child support papers come, you sign where you're supposed to sign. And then we'll make this happen. And then we'll be on about our business. Because, you're trying to please him, girl. You're going to ruin your life completely. Don't do it. Question number 19. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Raleigh, North Carolina. Summary of issue. My girlfriend has suddenly started expecting a lavish lifestyle and asking for things that I can't afford. How do I reel in her expectations while still showing her that she means the world to me? Okay, before we even go any further, let me say this. Every one of you people writing about how can I make somebody do something, it's never going to happen. They are who they are. They want what they want, and they are fully entitled for all of those things to happen. The person having the problem is the one who writes the letter. The person having the problem, the only person who can solve the problem is you. The problem is going to be solved by you getting a girlfriend who doesn't think that she's supposed to live a lifestyle of the rich and famous off of your dime. But let us read the rest of the letter. I'm a young guy. I'm 21 and in college full time, and I work full time too. So I'm pretty much broke, tight on time, and tight on money. This was fine for the 2 years we dated, as I've done a good job being upfront about the fact that I won't have much until I finish college. I got 2 more years. However, I think social media and things are playing in her ear, perhaps her family. As of recently, she wanted me to buy more and more, even a vacation during the school year. I've never been on vacation because I don't have money like that. I have a little more than $800 in my checking account, $3,000 in savings, and a little over $4,000 in the index fund is all the liquid money I have right now. It's also becoming clear that now I have to one-up whatever I did for the past holiday. What's a good way to meet some of her expectations, but also make them realistic? She wasn't materialistic or needy until very recently. I'm going to resent holidays and her outright asking for things. I feel happy when I bring her flowers or buy her dinner out of the blue, but setting money aside for her Hallmark dates where I'm expected to buy her things is starting to make me sick. Well, did you tell her that? I said, you telling me, but what you tell her? Look, chick, I don't know what this bullshit is you on right now. You looking on YouTube and Instagram and stuff and thinking that I'm supposed to fund your lifestyle. Get a job. If you want all that shit, you need to get too. Because my money is going to my school and what I need to do, pay my bills and stuff like that. I'll get you a little stuff here and there, but I'm not going to be doing all of that. So if that's a problem for you and this is the lifestyle that you feel that you must need and you deserve, then we just going to break up. Because I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to try to do that. I told you I'm not going to be balling like that until I get out of school and get me a job. and you trying to like, mess with a student's salary. If you don't want to mess with a student, you want somebody who's already settled in their career and stuff, then you need to go find that. I won't hold it against you. And then you just let her go. She tripping. You date somebody who's going to school, he don't have no money. I mean, even if he does make, nice wages and stuff, he still got to pay, because when you make too much, you can't get all them loans and grants and stuff like that because you exceed the income levels. So that means he's paying out of pocket. So his money's going to pay for his tuition, his books and lab fees and all that kind of stuff. Can you pay? I don't even want a man paying my bills. I tried that one time. This guy was going, I want to pay your phone bill. You know what happened? My phone got cut off because I believed him. I was young and dumb at that point. I said, okay, well, never again. I paid to get it put back on, and then I just dumped him, and that was that. So, y'all, I'm telling you, my dating life is just awful. Just awful. But I just rolled through them. Yeah, school is expensive. So he's working full time, and you know what I mean? He paying that tuition and buying books and stuff. Even when you rent a book, it's still expensive. So I don't know what she's trying to do here, but she needs to date somebody that's older that might want to spend all his money on her like that. Question number 20 of 25. We got 25 questions tonight. This is a young man in 18 to 21 age group. He's from Coventry in the UK. Summary of issues. How do I make it clear to her that it's a date? So this is a girl who's 21 and I'm 21 too. And I've spoken to her a few times online, and I'm kind of friends with her. I've not really met her in person, but we've seen each other kind of around. Oh, okay. So like passing in the hallway or something. I'm currently on an exchange year, but I'm back for the Christmas break until February. So I'm going to go visit my friends at my university for a week next month. I've arranged to meet up with her on my second day there. Basically, I mentioned that I'm going to my uni city and after she'd be down to go for a drink. She immediately said yes, and we made a plan to go for a few bars, maybe hit up a club if we feel like it. I joked that the best plan is no plan, and she says spontaneity is her favorite trait in a person. The conversation is good, but there wasn't really been a whole lot of flirting. I don't know if she knows I was asking her out on a date or if she thinks I just want to be friends. I wouldn't mind being friends with her if she's not interested, but that's not my intention. How can I make it obvious if it's not already? Or would it be better to just not say it and see what the vibe is on the night? Well, if you the scary kind of dude and you want to see what the vibe is on the night and she don't know that it's a date, well, don't be surprised if you see her over there talking and dancing with some other dude because she don't know that she on a date with you. Getting the other dude's number, all kind of stuff could be going on. And she won't know that it's not really what you would like because you didn't make it clear that y'all was on a date. You see how that goes? You men use these euphemisms like get together and hang out and stuff. We don't know what the fuck you talking about. We hang out with our friends, our dog, our relatives. So if I'm just hanging out with you, I'm going to treat you just like I would treat one of my cousins. I see somebody fine, I'm going to be all up in his face getting his number. Because after all, we're not on a date. We just hanging out like friends and family. So y'all be doing this to yourselves by being cowards. If you want to take the woman on a date and it has intent and purpose, you're supposed to let her know that. And you're supposed to say, I want you to make it real clear when we go on this event, this night here. I'm not just hanging out with you. This is a date. I want to get to know you on a different kind of level. Are you down with that? You okay with that? I thought I better let you know just in case it was kind of, unclear. I'm not trying to be your friend. That's what you say. Man the fuck up. Yeah, kick it. Yeah, same shit. It's just like, them euphemisms. And then, it's like, I'm not with you. Like, we're not doing all that. So I'm going to go over here and look at, see what Ray talking about. It's really funny. So that's what I suggest you do. You listen to what I just said and you put in your own words, but that's how you're going to do it. You better make it clear to her before you meet up with her or you're going to get your feelings hurt and your face cracked. Question number 21. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Plano, Texas. Summary of issues. I struggle with my parents' strange need to befriend my friends. And you 28 to 34? In recent years, I've come to the realization that my mother has some narcissistic tendencies and was verbally and emotionally abusive during my time growing up. I've done a lot of internal work to get to this point, and don't throw these kinds of words around lightly. Something that bothered me as a kid/teen was that my mother had to just be the best friend of all my friends. Not normal close relationships with my best friends, but like literally had to be their friend. This made it hard to talk to my friends or anyone about life was really like in my house. I could not ever say anything hinting at what was going on because I was afraid to paint my mother in a bad light when she was always like a friend, mentor, positive person in their lives. Anyway, still to this day, if she meets my friends or people my partner and I know, she has to befriend them on Facebook. If I talk to her on the phone around someone's birthday or if she saw that something significant happened in that person's life, she would say something along the lines of, "Oh, my friend so-and-so had a birthday." Or, "Remember your friend from college, blank? I talk to them all the time. I saw this important thing happen in their life. Did you congratulate them yet? I already did." Oh, like this weird competition. This really gets like this. No, I have not. I have not. I've heard of women doing that with, and fathers too. Fathers with their sons' girlfriends and mothers with the daughters' boyfriends, like with this, like, with nefarious intent, like to get busy with them because they think they're fine, sexy, handsome, beautiful, whatever. They be like overly flirty, touchy feely, and be trying to like get at them and stuff. It totally humiliates the child, and it confuses the friend who feels, like, oh, ick, the ick factor. In a situation like this, okay, you need to cue your friends into this. Why are you being quiet? You should tell, like, okay, if I had a friend and I'm going to meet the friend's mother for the first time, and the friend has already told me that this, but if you're not telling them, then how are they supposed to know? They just trying to be nice, right? But you have to tell them, my mother has this weird boundary thing where she totally overrides the fact that my friends are my friends, and she needs to have friends her age that aren't my friends. So when we meet her, I would like if she asked you for your Instagram or whatever, for you to tell her that you don't think that's appropriate. Or, I don't want to be friends with my friend's parent. That's kind of gross. Something like that. And so then she would be, put in check. But like if it were me and I went and somebody's mother said, "Oh, let me, be friend on your friend on, I don't know, Facebook," I'd be like, "Why? I'm not friends with any old people." That's, I used to say rude shit like that to people. And they'd be like all offended and everything. But I'd be like, "I'm not trying to be friends with you. I don't want you knowing what I'm doing. How am I supposed to do dirt? Next thing you know, you're going to be trying to tell my parents or something since y'all in that same age group. That's just not cool with me." That's what I was saying. And she would go in the other room and she would never want to talk to me again. And I would like it like that. But for you to get that kind of support from your friends, you need to let them know what's going on. If you're not telling people that this is how your mother is, so they can go into the situation, with a plan, then you setting yourself up and them too. Because normally, when you meet somebody's parents, you trying to be nice, quote nice. They say, "Oh, you're such a nice girl. Let me, so most people are gonna be like, "Oh, okay," because they're thinking it's something innocent and they just trying to be nice. But I don't like that word nice. I think the word nice needs to die. And there's no reason in this world why I need to be buddy with somebody's mama. Not gonna happen. They're siblings either. I don't give a fuck about them people. I'm just here for you. Your daddy, your brother, your uncle, your sister, your niece. I'm not trying to be friends with them. I don't need to be friends with them. You be friends with them. So that's what I suggest. To me, that's the solution here. You need to be more forthcoming about what you're facing dealing with your mother so that your friends can provide you with that kind of support and backup. If you're not doing that, then you send them into war blind. And then that's what happens. That's when you're going to get what you get. Question number 22. This 22 of 25. We got 25 questions today, as usual. Female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Denton in the greater Manchester area of the UK. Summary of issue. Is his behavior normal, or am I overthinking this new date? We are both 27 and started going out about a month ago, and we met on a dating app. Okay. Here we go. He stays in the neighboring city about 2 hours away. We clicked instantly over video calls, and when we finally met after 3 dates, he ended up saying that he likes me a lot And he also uttered a drunken I love you. Okay, wait a minute. 3 dates. He's drunken I love you. Okay. Now, at this point, after being single for a year and a half, I've known not to take this seriously since he can't possibly love me. He barely knows me. He just told me he loves me again and not pushing me to admit it. But I feel that he just kind of demands it indirectly, but showering me with gifts. I've told him I can't accept it anymore, but he says he wants to do it for me. He says that I'm his girl and stuff like that, and asks me to say yes in bed. Comes off as a little controlling. Poor thing. Should I be worried, or is it okay for the guy to feel that strongly early on? Aside from the slight controlling behavior in his confession, we have spent good time together. I've also told him I want to take this slow. Please advise. Okay, how do you take it slow when you already slept with him? In what world is that the situation? Are you a deck of cards? Just everybody take one and pass the deck? What's going on here? Why are you doing this? You say you want to take it slow, but you dropping off your underwear. That's not taking it slow. Taking it slow, you don't go to his house. You don't accept any gifts from him. You only see him once, maybe twice a week. You talk to him maybe once a day, if that. That's how you take things slow. You set the pace of the relationship. You don't let a man set it for you. And you only been on a couple of dates, 3, 4 dates, and you already in bed with him. Y'all be doing shit so backwards. I just don't get it. And then you create these problems for yourself, and then you want to write me and work my nerves. Little girl, let me tell you how this is going to go. You are whatever, next time you see him, all the shit he gave you, you're going to pack it in a box and you're going to give it back to him. And if he don't want to accept it, then you just sit it down. You sit it down and let him worry about what happens to it. And say, look, this you just putting a mash on me. I'm just feeling really uncomfortable. I don't want this. I've already told you no. I told you I don't like these tactics that you're using to try to pressure me into being with you or something. I don't want to do this. So we're not going to do this because I don't want to do it. And then you get in your Uber, a car, whatever you came in, and then you drive the fuck off and you deuce out over your shoulder through the rear view window. When you have a man that comes on this strong, that's like a whole parade of red flags. Let me tell you why. Normal guys with a normal sense of balance and timing are afraid to come on too strong because they don't want to scare you off. They might feel it. They might go and tell their mother and everybody in their family, I met the woman I'm going to marry, after they met you one time. But you'll never hear that from him. He's never going to say that to you. And he's never going to tell you, I love you after 3 dates. He's not going to do that. You may hear about it later. He'll tell you, like, after y'all been married for 2 years, I just want to confess something. As soon as I met you, I fell in love instantly, but I knew better than to say anything. I had to wait until you fell in love with me. Then I said it. See, because he had good sense. But you got somebody like this, and he's doing it while he's drunk, and then he's just, trying to ply you with gifts, and then he says, trying to claim you and saying you're his girl, and you're supposed to say, no, I'm not, and push him off of you if he's trying to do that kind of thing. That, what did they call it? I did a whole video on it. That mind control stuff. This guy he's not a good guy. Seriously. You need to extricate yourself from this situation and give him back all of the stuff that he gave you. And like I said, you have your Uber waiting, you put the box down, and you get back in the Uber and you drive off. He can either leave the stuff there, give it away, throw it up in the street like confetti, or just pick it back up and take it to his house, whatever he wants to do, because it's not yours anymore. Okay? And you never accept stuff like that from men. If it's going to be some flowers or something, you could accept that. But any kind of tangible goods like jewelry or furniture and stuff like that, clothing, you don't ever accept that from a man that you're not in a serious relationship with. Somebody coming on the scene like that, no. He's using it to buy you, to stake a claim, to put himself in a position where you owe him something. Don't do it. Question number 23. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Miami. Summary of issue: I only put in effort for women when I'm given mutual enthusiasm. I rarely receive that, though, and it makes me wonder if I need to put in more effort. This ought to be interesting. I have no issue with going an extra mile for women, but I won't do it just to get strung along or just to be a source of entertainment, or worst of all, when they're completely uninterested. I know I'm a good looking guy. Women occasionally approach me. People tell me that I'm attractive all the time and assume I kill it with women. But even the women who approach me only display enthusiasm for a short while and are then turned off. Oh, this is telling. I know most young, attractive women have multiple options for love these days, but it makes me wonder if I should try a little harder. It's hard to quantify things like this. I know that men are expected to lead and take initiative as well. I just can't figure out how much I should do. This is not about what you do. This is about why. The real issue here is why these women who are initially excited about meeting you get turned off. That is what you should have wrote me about. That's the true issue here. And that's the only thing that you should be focusing on. What are you doing? What are you saying? Or what are you not doing or not saying that what's going on there? There's something that's turning women off. And, usually, okay, you're a good looking guy. Did you have a good conversation? Are you the kind of dude who want to talk up under women's clothes all the time? Is your conversation lame? You only want to talk about what she look like, or worse yet, talk about yourself. You don't really show any enthusiasm about getting to know her. Are you overly touchy-feely with somebody that you don't even know? I was trying to paw on somebody. Or are they excited about meeting you and then they kiss you and you can't fucking kiss? If you know a man can't kiss, you know that everything else that he does is gonna be trash too. So why be interested? That's the bottom line. If your man shows no sensuality with his kissing, don't even bother trying to get any closer to him intimately. It's just going to be wasting your time. Okay. Yeah, see, they display enthusiasm for a short while and are then turned off. To me, that is the core issue at the heart of this letter. This is all that you need to be focusing on. All this other stuff about they're uninterested and how much enthusiasm you show and that doesn't nobody's gonna show you mutual enthusiasm until you figure out what this problem is that's turning women off. And you make it sound like it's happened way more than one time. That means it's a pattern. And so if it's a pattern, not just one, that's a one-off, but multiple women have responded the exact same way to you, then sir, the problem is you. So you need to figure out what's going on there. Okay. You didn't really say, I can't really venture too many guesses, but I don't know. Look over here. Yeah, he approaches too, but he's saying even when women are excited about meeting him because they see him. I mean, obviously he's a good looking dude, so he makes a good presentation. But then they talk to him, they spend time around him, and then they lose interest. So there's something going on there. Something happening. I know young attractive women have multiple options for love, but that's not why they're turned off from you. They go exercise those options after they showed interest in you and it didn't work. That's what happened. So don't be trying to make it seem like they just got turned off from you because they have other options. You're trying to save your ego, but I'm not gonna let you get away with that trick. The problem here is you. Figure out what the fuck is wrong with your ass and why women be all excited about how hot you look, and then figure out this if something ain't happening here, and then they deuce out. Question number 24, female 28 to 34 from Montreal, Canada. This is the summary of the issue. My neighbor is dying and needs more support than I can give. I need advice on how to handle this. I'm 34 and I have an older neighbor who's somewhere in his 50s, who is sweet but scatterbrained, emotional, and easily excited. We've known each other very casually for about a year, but not to the point where I even know her last name. And she's recently gifted me a ton of housewares as she downsized after a divorce. About 2 weeks ago, she was diagnosed with incurable brain cancer. Statistically, she's got 2 to 3 years to live. It's a sad situation. The problem, she's latching on to me as her support, and I'm not sure I'm ready to be that. She's been calling me every night for an hour to talk. I suggested she needs some advice from a professional, perhaps a terminal cancer support group, but she doesn't trust the system, is currently banned from driving, is talking about refusing chemo, and when I tell her to talk to the doctor for a prognosis or treatment plans, she's just like, I'm dying and he's so busy. I know she's just processing, but she really needs a family member or something to help her through this. And while her ex and her mother are both involved, they seem to all be constantly fighting. How can I respond to help while drawing good boundaries? First of all, what have you seen that makes you believe that this story is true? Have you seen some medical reports, diagnosis, scans? What? What has she shown you of more medical documentation that this is true? Because see, my skeptical hood rat ass would think this was some game because she's lonely and she figured out a way to get something from people is to use the sympathy card. I would be giving this a serious side eye unless I saw it myself and I know it. This is some real documentation from this specific hospital or something like that. Somebody who conveniently gets the brain cancer diagnosis and then suddenly starts globbing onto me and want to take up all my time and energy and just be a spiritual vampire. Deb don't operate like that. So she, what you need to do is have a very serious talk with her, say, I am very extremely sympathetic for what the situation is. But what I did, and this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna call social services, call adult protective services. And where are you again? Montreal. Oh wait, where's Sue's ass? They have adult APS in Montreal, Canada. I hope so. But I mean, every country, I mean, they all have something, might not be called adult protective services, but senior protective services, whatever it is, they have something where they have a team of social workers and people who will come out and work with seniors in these kind of transitions or where they're vulnerable and at risk. She is. So you tell them that you can't do it, you're her neighbor, and she needs some support that you cannot provide. Can they send over, call her, give them her number, and you file a report, they'll have to take action. They'll have to at least investigate. She always, at least here in the United States, even if you file an APS case and it is valid, the person can always turn down the assistance. Unless they're conserved, they have the right to say, I don't want your help, and then APS goes away. If they do need the help or they determine that this person's then they'll make moves to go through the court process to have them conserved so that they can provide them with the care and treatment that they really need to have, in spite of the fact that they think they don't need to have it. So, but yeah, that would be my first stop, to tell you to, reach out to them, to the social services in your area, and tell them what's going on. But I would, let them know that you haven't seen any paperwork, so you don't know if that what she told you is true, but this is what's going on. And, you don't know if she's having a mental breakdown, but whatever it is, you can't handle all the demands she's making on you, and that you need them to step in and, start helping her. And that's what you do. And then you let her know that that's what you did and say, because I can't do this. I can talk to you, every so often, and I can help you every so often, but every day and all for hours at a time, I can't do that. It's interfering with my life. That's all you have to say. And our final question of today, yeah, she's emotional, but like I said, my initial thing, okay, just like when you first start going out with somebody and they say, "Oh yeah, it's my birthday," or they hit you with, "Well, I have bipolar," or "I'm this and that." You ain't seen no paper. You don't know nothing about what they're doing, but suddenly you have feel like all this obligation and responsibility to provide support and overlook stuff and all that. And it's just game. I mean, this happens so much. It's just game. And people run this game because there's sympathetic, caring individuals in this planet. I'm not one of them. And then, that they know they can manipulate like that. When I read this, that's what I immediately felt, that this was just game. She just see a young single person that she just want to suck all the life out of them, tie up their time, and get whatever I mean, it might be true, but I'm not getting that vibe. I'm thinking that she didn't, because that's who's going to have a diagnosis like that and not be surrounded by their family, and they just found out a couple of weeks ago. I don't believe it. Okay, so our final question. This is a young man in the 28 to 34 age group. He's from North York, Canada. Summary of issue. Is a relationship worth continuing with someone who is intimately reserved with you compared to how they were with other people that they have been involved with? Okay. How would you know that unless they opened their big old mouth and told you some shit that they shouldn't have told you? Okay, here we go. I can hear all the furious insults and accusations of how insecure I am being hurled my way already. To which I say, what the fuck ever? Oh, look at this. He got attitude, y'all. He got attitude. You can be an empath without being letting yourself be a dumping ground. Empath is a way of perceiving the world and situations. You have an empathy. You understand what other people are thinking and feeling. I have that. But do you see me being to the point where I'm gonna let somebody suck all the life out of me? I have excellent boundaries. My boundaries are ironclad. And you ain't doing that. Not to me. I mean, I feel sorry for you, but that's as far as it's going to go. It's like, oh, that's so sad. Now get the fuck out of my face. Empath with boundaries. That's how that works. So anyway, this young man says, okay, so I can hear all the things. He got his little attitude. What the fuck ever. But regardless, honestly, I'm looking for some actual solid perspective from you or the ladies on how to look at this situation. If you like a person and don't want to ghost and cut all contact, for example, if someone openly tells you about her wild stuff that she used to do, and for an ex, for example, but confirm with strong conviction that they would never do these things with you right out the gate, or they don't seem eager or interested in exploring or building any kind of intimate connection with you in a relationship. Or, for example, that whole stigma of someone who has a representation for being very physically active and open to sleeping with others on the first night, but they want to take things slow with you for whatever reason. It's often because they say they really like you, which honestly only ever reads as fake garbage with no logic. Is a relationship like this worth continuing? I mean, it kind of feels like being used, or that your partner feels like you're a gullible fool that's easily strung along, or that there's ulterior motives at play, as of which begs a question as to why they're even engaging with you in the first place. Makes no sense. Like, how stupid do some people think other grown adults really are? Like, if you don't feel like pulling the wool over your own eyes, what else really is there to really pull from or alternatively think regarding a situation like this? How serious can a relationship honestly be between two people if the other half of that relationship is totally fine and feeling justified in overlooking their partner feeling unfulfilled, inferior, or unimportant? Okay, that's it. First of all, I'm going to say this. How is it that you know so much about what somebody did with and for some other man? How would you know that for a fact? That means you either sitting up there asking them, well, have you ever had a one night stand? How long did it take you to sleep with somebody? Or you dealing with some silly bitches that tell too much of their business. I tell you, women, to keep your mouth shut. You don't tell men stuff what you done with another man. Anything about another man should not be on your lips when you talking to your dude, a possible dude, a future dude, a date. You don't talk about other men to any other man. It's none of his business. If you got a dude who's asking you about some other dude like that, you say, would you want his number? You trying to get with him? What's this all about? Showing way too much interest in some other man's sex life. And you shut that shit down. You don't let some man sit up there and grill you about what you did in bed with some other man. Where they do that at? These men are just, and y'all stupid if you tell them, okay? So this dude in here is comparing what somebody did in their wild and crazy youth to what they should do now as a mature adult. He's not allowing any room for a woman to decide, oh, that was stupid. I don't know why I did that shit. And to grow and change and decide to operate her life on a different level. He don't want that because he want to be that man that she jump into bed with on the first date, risking disease, pregnancy. Now, he don't care what he's risking. He just wants that nook on the first date like she did when she was 18, even though she's 30 now, living a completely different lifestyle. That's why I say you all need to keep your damn mouths closed. You talk too fucking much. Okay, so then he's like, well, I don't even know. She want to take things slow, this and that. And all he's focused on is the fact that he's not getting no nook. Well, is this even worth continuing? Motherfucker, you want some pussy, just go pay for it. Okay? By the time a woman is in her late 20s, 30s, and mid to late 30s, she's not looking for somebody just to jump into bed with. She's looking for, what other way do I connect with this man? Is he going to be somebody who's going to be around for a while? Can he be a partner? Can he be a father? Can he be someone that I can bring home to my parents and my siblings and they're going to like him? That's what she's looking for. Well, all you're thinking about is your dick. So anyway, I'm discussing with you. There's nothing here that I have to say anymore about what you got going on. Yeah, he is an a-hole. That's what I'm saying. That's all he's thinking about is his dick. That's it. That's all he's thinking about. Well, she used to do this with other men. She was wild. So that's why I'm like, how would he know all of that? Are these assumptions that he's making? Because a lot of them group dudes in them 5-letter groups that's assumed that that's all women do. A woman can sleep with 5,000,004 dudes in a month period, whereas men can. We're lucky if we only get one. They have these real crazy ideas about what women do, and so it's just, I don't know. It's disappointing to see that so many men are stupid, but it is what it is. What can you say? Anyway, I hope you guys got a chance to see the video that we did on Monday. It's this. It's a very interesting discussion, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. At some point in the not too distant future, we will be doing this show. I have to just get myself together and figure out what I'm gonna say. But I think this is important for us to figure out as adult women how we're going to, deal with these little girls and what we got going on and how we're going to help them not make the mistakes that we made. That's very important. So I thank you guys for sitting in with me for What the Fuck Wednesday and responding to these crazy advice questions today. If you haven't already hit the subscription button for this channel, please join the party. Hit the instant notification bell too, in case we do a pop-up like we did on Monday, so you can get noticed so you can be here, okay? Otherwise you miss out. So I appreciate you guys. Go forth and have a good, happy new year and all that old stuff. I guess this is it, huh? Unless something happens and I pop in here, then I'll see you guys in 2023.